Welcome in to Chuckin Buckets. It's your boy Coach I and the Stat Guy. We are here to give our live reaction to the selection show, man. Looking to see where South Carolina women's basketball and the rest of the lady SEC basketball teams are. Glad you joined us today. If you haven't already, hit the like and subscribe button for us. We talk here on Chuckin Buckets. We talk about South Carolina women's basketball all the time, and on the Fan Addict, it's all SEC all the time, man. Football, basketball. Eventually, we'll have some baseball for you baseball lovers out there, man. But let's go ahead and roll the intro. That's right, man. Chucking Buckets, man. It's Coach I and the Stat Guy. What's going on, Stat?
Yo, what's going on tonight, Coach?
Hey, man. Ready to see where the Gamecocks and the rest of the SEC women's teams, what regions more so? I think we kind of got a little fix on, where they might be seated, but we want to see what region and who they may have to go through to get to the championship. Me and you was talking backstage, and you said that knowing that Auburn got the number one overall seed in the men's, you're thinking the Lady Gamecocks get the number one overall seed in the women's.
Yeah, I think they clearly based that off a resume. I mean, it's weird. Duke beat them head to head. Duke finished the year better with Auburn dropping 3 of the last 4, and yet still Auburn, there they are. So I think they valued what they did in the regular season as a whole, and I think that puts the edge on South Carolina as well with what they did in the non-conference.
Right. I think so too. I definitely agree. Got a good cast. I got my ESPN on. Of course, I'm using YouTube TV, so I may be split second ahead or behind some of you, depending on where you are. So we want to take this time, man, to say we definitely appreciate all the fans of SEC women's basketball, or just South Carolina Gamecock fans, man, for joining in on the channel. If you were new to the channel, or continue to support throughout this season, of course, we're gonna be coming with the content also going forward, man. And it's been really good. Had a really good time at the SEC women's tournament in Greenville, South Carolina, man. Me and KB, who may be in the comments tonight, but he'll be back on tomorrow night at 8:00. We'll be live giving our breakdown of who South Carolina may meet up with and who the other SEC teams may meet up with on their way to trying to win a championship. So tonight we're just gonna react to which brackets they are, and then we'll give our little insight. But tomorrow we'll give more of a breakdown of the tourney and how we see each region going. Stat Guy, what you got for me, man? How you feeling tonight about these Gamecocks?
Yeah, man, just excited. Basketball was such a long season anyway. You go through your highs and lows, but for where South Carolina is as a program right now, you expect to be a 1 seed. And more importantly now, it's who do you draw as a 2 and 3. Unlike the men's tournament, it's very chalk heavy. The teams that should win do win, and so you look to see who's going to be in that bracket that you might run into on your way to Tampa.
Right. I definitely think being a good team definitely, aids in you winning the national championship, but also health and seeding. Also, like, where you seed in the bracket, styles make fights. So they're showing the regions right now. We have a Spokane, Washington region. This is for then the Final Four looks to be in Tampa Bay, and then but right now on the screen, as you guys can see, if you're following along, they got the Alabama, Birmingham region and Spokane, Washington region. They'll have Spokane Region 1 and Spokane Region 2, if I'm not mistaken, and that's the UCLA. Was there any doubt, Stat Guy, that UCLA was going to get the number 1 seed in Spokane?
I thought that South Carolina was going to get the number 1 overall seed, but once they showed that it was in Spokane, you knew it was either UCLA or Southern Cal. Obviously, they're not sending the Gamecocks out west. They're going to keep the 2 California teams out there. So the way it'll work is Spokane will now be Region 1 and Region 4, and Birmingham will be Region 2, Region 3. And you'll probably expect to see Texas slide into that 3 slot just so they can keep the matchups how they want them. geography wise. So obviously, you want to keep those two California teams up there in Washington for the fans travel.
Right, right. I know UCLA. We talked about this, some off camera a week or so ago. I know UCLA beat USC in the conference tournament championship. I still think SC. I know you said they had a bad loss against Iowa, but Iowa was a quad one win. I still think SC should have got that number one. I don't know about number one overall, but I guess if you had to give it one, I guess that's how they did it. But I thought they should have been a higher seed than UCLA because they did beat UCLA twice. So, but UCLA beat South Carolina earlier in the season. The Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets look to be playing Richmond in Los Angeles. Ooh, that's a long travel for both teams. That
Yeah, and then keep in mind for the game that just popped up for all you SEC fans out there looking for a head coach, watch the game between Baylor and Grand Canyon because Grand Canyon's head coach, Molly Miller, one of the hottest names and one of the hottest coaches in women's basketball right now, will be coming to a school near you if you got the dollar bills.
if you got those dollar bills, look at Grand Canyon, man. Grand Canyon starts an online university, if I'm not mistaken, and then now they got good men and women's basketball. Look at Ole Miss having to travel to Spokane. But if any team is going to use that as motivation, it's Ole Miss. They take everything personal, as they stated in the SEC tournament, women's tournament. So let's see who they match up with at the 12 seed again. Like I said, I may be a second behind or ahead, depending on what you guys have. I think Ball State. Okay, not a bad matchup, but that'll be a long travel. More so for, I guess that's about the same coming from Indiana and Ole Miss, just two different paths.
Well, that first game will be played in Waco.
And Waco. That's what I meant. Right.
City.
Got you. That's my mistake. I was thinking about the overall region. Right. All right. So we got LSU and Baton Rouge, of course, as a 3 seed. Did you expect them to be higher?
No, I felt they had a chance to play their way to the 2 line. But obviously with Flau'jae not playing in the SEC tournament, that was a wrap for him.
Right. I think if they had Flau'jae, they definitely would have did a little bit better. Shout out to my guy B Shaw getting in, said the SEC was tough this year on the men and the women's side. That is for sure. The SEC definitely runs college basketball. Now, the key is can they actually win the title? Because all that tough schedule and all of that strength of schedule or being the best conference, at the end of the day, they count championships. So we'll see if the men and or the women can finish it off. And shout out to my guy B for getting in, and shout out to everybody for getting in on Facebook and on YouTube. If you can, just give us a thumbs up if you don't want to type anything, or get in the comments and let us know where you watching at. That'll be good. Let us know what region you're in. Are you closer to Spokane or are you closer to Birmingham? Yeah, you're right. It didn't work out in football. Look at Florida State getting going to Baton Rouge. So just right now, looking at Baton Rouge stat, I think LSU, as long as Flau'jae plays, is safe to come out of those 2 games. What do you think?
Yeah, now Florida State does have a little guard that gives them about 25, 26 a game. And when you got the best player on the court, sometimes that's all you need in March. But I think LSU's a little bit
player. I don't know about the best player on the court. We still got Michaela Williams over there at LSU now. I don't know about that.
So she's going to be able to keep them in the game with her offense. I will tell you that.
Right.
But I do think between Michaela Williams, Morrow, I think LSU just got too much for them with their big 3.
Right. So NC State will be playing, of course, in Raleigh. Let's see who they're the 2 seed there. Let's see. So Vermont, okay. Vermont, not as long a trip as it is for like Indiana and Ole Miss. Once they have to, well, I guess once you actually leave out of your bracket, you still got to go to Spokane. Whoever wins that bottom bracket, both of these games will be this region is on Saturday. Okay. They got to save the Gamecocks for last. You know what I'm saying? Michigan State, men and women programs doing pretty good this year. Got a 7 seed, and who got that 10 seed stat? They showed it on
Harvard.
your screen.
Yeah,
Harvard.
Harvard.
Okay, look at Harvard, 24-4. Don't sleep on the Ivy League, baby.
And the Ivy League's looking to get 2 or more bids for consecutive years, which is absolutely crazy for a conference to think about.
Right, right. Okay,
Okay,
I see
not a bad
you. Hey,
bracket.
Hoopers and Smart. Okay, we got it. All right, all right. So we got to go to Baylor. Okay, we got Waco, Texas, Los Angeles, Baton Rouge, Raleigh, and okay, that's what we got. Dogs, one win in the tournament will be a successful season. For the men, okay, yeah, I think so. I think getting to the tournament is a successful season, but we'll probably do a preview on that one a little bit later. I got to look at the actual brackets and things of that nature because right now, we're actually here to talk about the women, and our women didn't do too hot this year. But hopefully, Lady Dogs, can get it together, man. What you thinking about this Region 1, UCLA, NC State, LSU, and Baylor? How you like that stat? Appreciate you getting
Yeah,
in, Doghouse.
Baylor Baylor went on a run the last couple months of the year. But NC State and LSU, I'm interested to see if everything goes chalk. I'm very interested to see who would win that game. But I feel like either one of those teams could upset UCLA for a trip to the Final Four.
I think if anybody's gonna upset UCLA, it'll have to be a full strength LSU. I think UCLA with Betts definitely has the advantage down low, but I think they may be too much on the perimeter. But I like NC State too. Haven't watched a lot of Baylor, but I think NC State. Honestly, NC State's can match up. Now I'm not saying they can beat, but NC State women can match up with just about anybody. So, but if I'm taking somebody out of there to come out instead of UCLA, come on, man, give me Kim Mulkey.
South Carolina with the non-reaction. Love to see it.
Well, I mean, this when you expect stuff like that. There go our guy KB getting in, say love NC State versus UCLA. I'm telling you, I think NC State definitely has what it takes to beat UCLA. Can they get it done? Because they will have to travel out to Spokane once they actually play. So, or travel out west, I would say. Look at the South Carolina. Look at the CLA pack. Is that they in the CLA? No, they in the meeting room. I thought they was having the CLA watch party today. Stat.
No, they're in the CLA. They're in the watch party.
Oh, okay. Tennessee
Yeah,
Tech.
yeah.
Okay. It's been a good run, Tennessee Tech. But hey, no shame in going out in the first round.
Enjoy your beautiful vacation to Columbia, South Carolina.
Right. So now let's see who gets the 2, 3, and 4 seeds. SC by 20. That's it. KB. You say the fighting Golden Eagles gonna put up a fight. Okay, we got Utah at coming to Columbia to take on who? I like Utah. I watched a little bit of them in the Big 12 tournament. Um, they're a solid team. Nobody I think should threaten South Carolina, but they definitely are a solid team.
And they'll be
That's
taking on
gonna
Indiana.
that's gonna be a good game. Who's the true red? Who's the true red? All right, for people watching out there, so far, how you liking the Spokane region with UCLA at the 1 seed, NC State at the 2 seed? The 3 seed is LSU, and 4 is Baylor. We got Maryland now. And the Maryland, I'm gonna tell you who you talk about hot down the stretch. I like the Maryland team. Look, they didn't post all the trophies up, did they? Okay. The Maryland team definitely was hot coming down the stretch. I like them at the 4 seed there. Didn't Maryland didn't Maryland win the Big Ten championship?
No, UCLA.
Oh, my bad. It was UCLA and USC. Right. Listen, man, I'm still getting used to them being in the Big Ten. I'm still used to them being in the Pac-12. We appreciate y'all joining us tonight. It is Selection Sunday, man. We are following along with the women's bracket reveal. Alabama got to go to College Park, Maryland. Hey, that might be some trouble for Maryland.
Yeah, I was gonna say that game we played on Monday, man. Maryland, Alabama. That basketball.
Right. Listen, man. That Sarah Barker. You know, I'm a fan. Long as Green Bay don't come in upset minded, which I think Bama should handle business. I don't like the way they went out in the SEC tourney, but I still give me Alabama to come out of that. And looks like they might, if they handle business, they might be headed for a Sweet 16. Wouldn't that be a Sweet 16 against y'all? Yeah.
Yeah, not only that, but a Sweet 16 against us in their backyard.
Ooh. Hey, if it's time to do it, it's time to do it now. North Carolina gets the 3 seed. That's interesting. So that means Duke won't be in this bracket.
Potentially. And then Oregon State with the 2 seed. I'll be honest, I'm impressed with the Oregon State run this year. Only 19-15, but they lost their entire team to the transfer portal last year.
And still made it to the tourney. That's kind of like as impressive as Missouri men's. I want to say they didn't win a conference game last year, if I'm not mistaken in that, or maybe it was like one, and then they should. Where did they make the tourney? I know you watched the men.
Yeah, they made the tournament.
That's what I thought. West Virginia at the 6th seed. Okay.
The
Fighting
SEC
Mountaineers.
The SEC actually had 14 teams make it in the men's side.
Wow. So who didn't make it besides y'all?
LSU. And South Carolina's already turned down their NIT bid. Thank goodness. Tired of watching South Carolina.
You don't want the NIT? Yeah, hey man, don't be too good now. Don't be too good.
I need Lamont to go ahead and have some heart-to-heart conversations with some guys about leaving Columbia.
Got you. All right, there's Duke. Got West Virginia. There's Duke. Oh, they put him. Okay. They said, forget it.
Oh, man. Duke, North Carolina, rivalry renewed in Birmingham, Alabama. Love to see it.
Right. Listen, I'm going to tell you right now, we're looking at these 6 through 14. Hey, man, give me Duke to come out of that. I'm definitely down with Duke. I like the way those ladies play. KB said, better take what y'all can get. Stat on the men's side. Y'all ain't Don Staley and company, right? Love Carol Lawson. Listen, I'm just saying. I'm just saying, Tennessee. I don't know how happy or not happy you are with your current coach, but if you want Carol Lawson, you better get her now. She just won the ACC. Ooh, didn't you say they got a top 10 class stat?
Yeah. The Commodores might have something to say about Duke in that 2-7 game in the second round, though.
Ooh, you already know Michaela Blake's going to have something to say about that. Her and Pierre. Ooh, that's going to be a game. All right, so we already got some games that's going to be like some of the better early matchups. If Vanderbilt and Duke both handle business in the first round, that will be one of the best matchups in the round of 32. I'm telling you right now, Michaela Blake's and Pierre definitely not taking no back seat mentally to anybody in that bracket right there. But Duke also got some dogs out there on that court too. They got Vanderbilt got their hands full with Oregon in the first round. Ooh, Friday. Am I working Friday? I'm about to take off work, boy.
I will say I know you're a Duke men's fan. I wonder what Duke fans are thinking about having to play Lehigh in the 2-15 game.
Not good. We don't like it. We don't like it at all. Not since CJ McCollum. This is a tough bracket. Yeah, it's a tough bracket. Listen, you got South Carolina as the 1, you got Duke as the 2, North Carolina as the 3, Maryland is the 4, Vandy as a 7. I know I skipped 5, and Alabama is 5. Now, South Carolina has beat Bama, and South Carolina has beat Vandy. South Carolina beat Duke early in the year, if I'm not mistaken, or was that NC State stat?
Both of them.
Okay, so Hey, but it's still how you feeling about this? Duke, North Carolina, and Maryland. That's That's
Dream.
OACC. That's OACC, right?
This bracket is absolutely what I dreamed of. This is the perfect bracket for South Carolina to keep it marching to Tampa. I love it. I was really wanting Duke as our 2 seed, and I was really hoping to get North Carolina as the 3 seed as well. So
I
dream
did.
come true.
I didn't think they would put Duke and North Carolina in the same bracket, but hey, they say let's figure it out on the court, right? If North Carolina has to meet up with South Carolina, if I'm not, is that ain't that right? Before they would have to meet up with Duke.
No, they're the 2 seed and the 3 seed.
No, that's 2, 3. Yeah, you're right. Now, I just as I was saying that, I'm like, okay. Let's see who we got. Who we waiting on? I'm waiting to see where Notre Dame is. What Kentucky bracket region and Notre Dame, of course. Lauren Betts, man, she's a hooper, man, and she's just her size is just such a problem. And then of course I want to see who. What if they put? Or you don't think they're gonna put Southern Cal and Notre Dame in the same one?
Um, yeah, very, very, very likely that could be Southern Cal's 2 seed.
Ah, hey, you know that's a football rivalry that we love to watch. You know what I'm saying?
I will tell you this that Texas and UConn are joined at the hip. One of them will be the 1 seed, the other will be the 2 seed.
Well, Texas is going to be the 1 seed, and UConn is going to be the 2 seed. But I think that's going to be a tough out for either team. Texas definitely, we already seen they can play. They actually come out on top in a lot of close games, and I think if they, both handle business and make it there, I think that'll be a close game. I mean, if you're talking about who's good in close games, definitely Texas. But you know how I feel about Paige Buckets, baby. Like if it's down to who's the better player, give me Paige Buckets. So far, so good, Stat. So far, so good. It's what you wanted, right? It's what you wanted.
Yep. Perfect bracket. Now, this is what I'm interested to see when it comes back. Did they match us up with Southern Cal, or did they match us up with Texas for the Final Four
Well,
game?
right. So you was thinking initially they would match you up with Texas and match Southern Cal up for UCLA so that you can try, if both teams handle business, to have a championship between the SCs, which we will get a preview of. I mean, we'll get to see next year in November. In I want to say that's in LA. We will get to see Southern Cal women, Juju, take on Fu Wiley and the Gamecocks. I want to say that's November the 15th in 2025. So
That
K
would be
Bill said,
great.
I think folks want to see Juju versus Page. I think they do too, KB. But I do. The question is, do you want to see him in the Elite Eight or do you want to see him in the Final Four? That's the thing. Like I think there's a lot of interesting matchups they could think about because of course UConn's going to be a 2 seed. Southern Cal is going to be a 1 seed. But does Southern Cal get UConn or does Southern Cal get Notre Dame? And of course, the other one is gonna Notre Dame and UConn are gonna be the 2 seeds that's left, and then Southern Cal and Texas are gonna be the 1 seeds. If I had to do it, I want to save Page and Juju for the Final Four. I'll take that Hidalgo Juju matchup in the Elite Eight, and then give me Booker and Page in the Elite Eight, and then if they can make it, we'll see. Let the chips fall where they may. I think as far as 2 seeds go, Stat, South Carolina and UCLA definitely got the better of the two seeds.
Oh yeah, and that's we've played Duke. I just like that matchup for us.
Right. I think all the 2 seeds are capable of winning the whole thing. I just think if you want to choose between UConn and Notre Dame, or you want to choose between NC State and Duke, then I think you choose NC State and Duke when you're talking about UCLA and South Carolina.
And they
But of course,
were
these girls are not ducking any smoke though. So
I was correct in my thought process. They leave South Carolina and Texas joined as well. Texas is now in Region 3.
right. So now who's Texas? Who's Texas's number 2 then?
It should be Notre Dame.
You think so?
It should be Notre Dame. Because if you think
I
about it,
think
UConn would be the number 1 ranked 2 seed, which would put them in the 4th bracket.
right. But if I had to pick, give me that Southern Cal Notre Dame matchup on the hardwood, baby.
But you want to talk about brutal, or UConn having to go out to Spokane, Washington to play Southern Cal. Woo!
Right, right. That's cross country. That's that's a trip for you, dog. Let's see who they got. All right, got Illinois and it's 9 seed. I'm looking to see who this 4-13 is gonna be too. I'm gonna tell you what, they better listen. Booker definitely. I think Texas got the stuff to make it all the way to the championship, but we've also seen Texas play a lot of close games. So I'm interested to see who this 4 and 5 seed is going to be as well, because we already know seeds don't always matter. I know women are more chalk than men are, but styles make fights, and I think the women's game is evolving so much that I think we will start seeing more often those upsets like the 12-5 or the 13-4. We always get a 13-4 upset in the men's side, but you don't see that a whole bunch in the women's. Okay, Ohio State. All right, lady, the Buckeyes. All right, who we got? Who y'all master? They look very enthused. Dang, Illinois got to go all the way to Texas for the first round. That's crazy. Montana State ain't lose but 3 games all year. Get you some of that, stat guy.
Tennessee is the 5 seed. I felt that coming.
Ooh. Okay, let's see here.
Tennessee going back to Columbus. Nothing could go wrong.
Right, Columbus, Tennessee football guys. They don't want to see no more part of Columbus, but maybe they can get some. Maybe the ladies can get some revenge for them if they handle business, of course, in the first round. So I mean, Tennessee and Texas, if they were to match up, listen, that was a close game the first time. Last time around, January 23rd, Texas only won by 4. So this is going to be an interesting matchup, but I think Ohio State might have a little something to say about that.
Yeah, that's tough because you get the dog either way with either Ohio State or Tennessee.
KB says he believes Ohio State can beat Texas. I do too. I think Ohio State. Listen, I think that bracket right there. I know we talked about the last bracket being one of the hardest, but I'm thinking because of the styles that some of these teams play. Look at Notre Dame getting a 3 seed instead of a 2. We were both wrong, stat. What went on at the end of the season that they got a 2 seed? I mean, a 3 seed.
Dropped like 3 of their last 5 or 6 games.
So who's the 2 seed? Ooh, wow, that is not. Listen, they might be listed as a 3 seed, but I can tell you for sure they are talented and good enough that they are to be a 1 seed. Trust that. I can't wait to see. So who's left to be the 2 seed then? We got NC State. We know UConn may be in. There still is another bracket to go. So who's gonna be 2 seed over here?
Probably UConn then.
But there's another bracket.
No, UConn first one. Yeah. UConn will be the last 2 seed they show.
Right. That's what I'm saying. If they the highest 2 seed, they're gonna be in another region. So that's what I'm saying.
I'm so dumb, coach. I'm so dumb. It's TCU. I knew that. It's TCU.
TCU and Haley Van Lith. Hey man, Haley, listen man, she back to being her. She back to being her. You know what I'm saying? She that killer on the floor that we all saw when she was at Louisville. She took a little back seat when she went to LSU, but she back in her stride now. So TCU, Texas got a hard one. All right, KB. So you think the South Carolina region? You said that was a hard region. What about this region? I think so far this is the hardest region when you're talking about the number 1 seed as matched up with the 2, 3, 4, and so on. I think this currently stacked out. What you think? I think this is the hardest region so far.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it when it showed it that the South Carolina region was going to be the easiest region. out of everybody. You look at this, you got Notre Dame, which could easily be a 1 seed.
Right.
TCU is 31-3. They've done their thing. They're led by somebody that's been here before. And then you also have Ohio State and Tennessee, who Tennessee at one point this year was on that 2 line. So this region is in that top 5.
Right. If there's gonna be chaos, this Birmingham region 3, this region 3 Birmingham, this is gonna be it. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, Louisville women are good too. I know they got the 7th seed, but I think Louisville women got are a good matchup. Michigan women, we watched them early on, you and I against South Carolina, and it's one thing when you playing South Carolina, it's another thing when you playing the other top seeds. So I think by far Region 3 Birmingham is the hardest because of all the styles and talent
I
distribution.
mean, you look at those second round potential matchups: Tennessee, Ohio State, Michigan, Notre Dame, TCU, Louisville. Like that's made for
That's what
TV, dog.
That's what KB, and we said that earlier. Like this is the region you want. If you're a college basketball fan, women's basketball fan, this is the region you want to tune into. KB said Haley Van Lith matched back up with Louisville in the second round if they got to what I'm saying, if they got handle business in the first round. Right. He said the same thing. A lot of stories in this region. That is correct. And TC, listen, if TC, let's say it goes chalk, TCU meets Texas. Come on, dog. That's backyard brawl right there. I'm
And
gonna be honest with you. Go ahead.
TCU's got a big down low. She's like 6'6", 6'7". So they
Right.
got the size to handle Texas bigs.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you right now, just looking at it, spitballing, not going through every single game, but if everybody's healthy, give me Notre Dame to come out of that region.
Mm.
Yep. Hey, you know how I feel. If you got good guard play, you always got a chance, baby. And they got one of the best in the nation. Actually, two of the best in the nation. My bad.
Three.
Right. I think
Don't sleep on future top 5 picks, Citron. She right there
hey,
too.
that's what I'm saying. Now, Texas is gonna be a problem for everybody in that region when it comes to Oldacre and Jones down low, and of course Booker. I mean, you have to account for Booker, but I think the thing is when Booker gets hers, it's just that when you got them two bigs down low, man, it's a problem. I mean, we saw that. What I'm saying, a couple of times this year. Playing other top teams, especially Oldacre coming off the bench. She's just honestly, like you and I talk, we would run them at the same time sometimes against teams because that's an impossible matchup for teams. We'll see if Vic does that sometimes in the tourney, but most times, he takes Jones out and when Oldacre comes in and vice versa. So we'll see. I'm interested to see how he plays it in the tournament. What you think that we'll see any of both of them on the floor during the tourney?
I mean, we saw it, the 3 matchups that South Carolina and Texas played each other. We saw it for like a grand total of 4 minutes. So,
Right.
it won't be a lot, but if it was me, I would start the 2 of them together and just absolutely dominate. Jones can play. She's in great shape. I mean, she can give you 34, 35 minutes. I don't know as much about Oldacre, but the 2 of them on the court together is a problem.
Right. I'm gonna find at least, about 10 to 15 minutes. Like you say, against South Carolina in 3 matchups, they played together a total of 4 minutes. Maybe not in the early rounds, but when you start getting to like the Sweet 16 or so, listen, man, I'm gonna find at least 10 to 15 minutes with those girls on the floor because I'm not going in preparing to play to defend against what you're doing. I'm making you switch to what I'm doing, and I'm telling you, there's not a lot of teams that can handle that high. I mean, off top, of course, UCLA could. Um, to be honest, if they did that more, I think that would be a little bit challenging for South Carolina as well. I mean, I think the only team off top that just got that much height across the board is the Trojans. I mean, they just tall everywhere. So, but I'm definitely using that to my advantage once I get into the Sweet 16 and on further if I make it. So, all
I
right,
guess
so go ahead.
I was going to say, I guess the problem is LSU and South Carolina have kind of showed the roadmap to beating Texas, play off everybody else, and whoever's face guarding Booker just stay in her hip pocket and
Right.
just don't obviously make sure Rory's free throw line jumper is contested. Don't just give her that because she'll bust you over the head with it. But their lack of shooters really scares me in the NCAA tournament.
Well, I'm gonna tell you to go far in the NCAA tournament. Rory's gonna like. I love her mid range game. If she's gonna need to score, that's what I'll say. When it comes to all those other teams, it's one thing to have to do it once or twice. Now I mean once a week or something in the SEC, but because I think most people will watch because Texas only lost 3 games, so they're gonna watch those 3 losses. Of course, 2 of those coming to South Carolina, 1 to LSU. So they're gonna definitely watch those losses and try to duplicate that. So I think she's gonna have to be more active on the offensive end as far as scoring is concerned. KB says teams need to look at the SEC on how to lock down Booker and let the rest of them be right. My bad, KB. I was actually looking at the TV. You and Stat was saying the same thing at the same time. Look at Shea Gildas Alexander. He leads the NBA and most in OKC history. Was that 33 points a game or something like that? Okay. All right. Final 1 seed. Listen, man. I think they're gonna give it to SC, but both of them are deserving. I thought UConn should have been I thought they had a chance to be a 1 seed, but the net strength of schedule says SC is gonna be the number 1 seed and UConn's gonna be the number 2 seed.
And it is in fact Southern Cal.
Right. When you look at that it was a vast difference between the net strength of schedule. When you looked at the net ranking, it wasn't a big difference. When you looked at the records, wasn't a big difference. That net strength of schedule did UConn in. But hey, like you said, that's crazy. UConn, if they handle business and SC handles business, they both gonna meet up in Spokane. So, all right, let's see what we got here. Okay, UNCG, we see you. Gamecock, no one worried about. Listen, Stat guy pointed out that outside game of and then Texas is not like an up tempo team or a fast team. They just kind of play their game. You know what I'm saying? So. And we've seen lesser teams, in the first half and, kind of go toe to toe with Texas. And then, of course, Texas's talent takes over in the second half. Like Georgia went toe to toe with them for a half, and then they end up winning by like 20 plus. But what you don't want to do is go toe to toe with a team in the tourney and give them confidence. So Gamecock Chuck, do you feel like Texas is going to come out of their region, or will it be Notre Dame or TCU or somebody else for that matter of fact? Because isn't Tennessee in that region too, Stat?
Yeah, Tennessee's in that region. And Ohio.
Ohio State. That's a tough region, dog.
There's your number 4 seed, Kentucky.
I like Georgia Amore and the Twin Towers down low. I think Kentucky. Listen, man, I think Kentucky can beat everybody in this region. I didn't even seen the other ones other than USC. Now, I think Juju and company going to be a little too much, but I like Kentucky and the way that they play, dog. And, KB's been putting me on their coach, man. What's his last name? Is that Brooks?
Kenny Brooks.
Right. I like him the way he coaches. Okay, we got Liberty. Listen, this may be the second hardest region right here. We'll see who the 2 and the 3 seed is, but the 4 seed, let's see, Kansas State. Okay.
Now Kansas State's also got 6-7 post, and Lee is a low jacket, but she was hurt most of the year, but she's back. That Kentucky Kansas State game, woo.
Of course, thinking they're gonna get past it. And like I say, appreciate y'all tuning in. This is Selection Sunday, watching along with the women's bracket reveal tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern. After we've had a chance to look at the brackets and decide what we think is gonna happen. In our opinion, we will be doing a live stream tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern time, where we'll map out how we think South Carolina Lady Gamecocks can win another natty, and also the rest of the SEC, where they will go or finish. Oklahoma, again, listen, you already know Beers down low is a problem. You know what I'm saying? Now, I got a newfound respect for, what's the guard name? She played good against South Carolina. Nobody else really came to play. What was that guard's name? that plays for Oklahoma. Von Holtz. What's her? What is that? What is her? Let me see what her name is. She's good. She can shoot the three real good. I said Verholtz. I think it's Verholtz. That's what I'm thinking. Didn't Iowa beat you earlier in the year? Isn't that their one bad loss stat?
Yeah, they beat Southern Cal.
Yeah. How about the tournament people trying to be funny and put them back in the Southern Cal bracket? How about that? Verholtz. I said Von Holtz. Verholtz. Verholtz is the other player for Oklahoma. I think Oklahoma got the stuff to we'll see. Does Iowa have somebody down low? Obviously, they have to have somebody good down low.
Yeah,
Oh man.
they got the light skin girl. She's a junior this year, Stolke.
Stokey, okay.
Then they got another guard that can give you buckets. She averaging about 18, 19 a game.
Right. We got UConn as we thought gonna be in this region. Now, this is the thing about UConn. Paige is gonna be Paige. We know that. Paige is all around. She can do it all. And she's gonna do it all. The key to them and how far they go is gonna be foot. Sarah Strong's gonna give you you're in a good game every night. Um But the key, I think, to UConn's trip to Final Four or maybe even possibly a championship is how good Fudd is doing. Because if Fudd is playing like she played in Columbia, it's gonna be hard to be UConn, bro.
I will be honest with you. Crystal ball looking ahead to that Sweet 16. Oklahoma UConn is going to be a battle because Beers is going to get down low and get position on Sarah Strong. If she can get Sarah Strong in foul trouble early, woo!
Or it could go the other way because Beers can't play her on the outside because we
Side,
know
yeah,
Sarah Strong can shoot the three very good, and she can also post up. So I honestly don't. If that happens, I see UConn winning by double digits. To be honest with you. I think Page and Fudd are too much. They got, like I said, they got Verholtz, and I definitely respect Beers, but I think Sarah Strong can cancel out Beers. I like this
Beers.
region though. I like this region. USC Trojans at 1. You got UConn at 2. You got Oklahoma at the 3. Kentucky at the 4. Look at the SEC. I think Kentucky would be a better matchup, to be honest with you, for UConn than Oklahoma would.
That
But
Kentucky Southern Cal game is intriguing.
yeah, that's
If
what I was gonna say. But I think the thing is Kentucky's height matches up with USC. Now, are their bigs as good as USC Trojans bigs? I mean, I think that's debatable. But you got Georgia Amore against Juju. I think you're right, Stat. I think that's intriguing.
That's definitely. I mean, they got Strack. She's a great defender. She can shoot the three and pull Ephraim out. Yeah, South Carolina definitely won. And as far as the brackets go, they definitely gave South Carolina the cupcake bracket, and then
Right.
UCLA probably second easiest.
Right. We got some intriguing matchups. We think the region with Texas as the 1 seed and TCU as the 2 seed is the hardest bracket. Just looking at it on taking it face value. We're gonna do a deep dive as a group tonight. Me, Stat, and KB. We'll be back tomorrow, 8:00 p.m. Eastern time, and we'll have our brackets mapped out. Y'all know how we do it. It's 3 of us. So majority wins. So if 2 people pick the winner and the other person picks the other team, then we put the 2 whoever the 2 people picked on the next line, and we'll see. Now our SEC bracket actually went almost outside of, I want to say, 2 games. We didn't. Well, I picked the Florida Auburn game. You guys picked Auburn over Florida. But I think the other one was LSU. Maybe we picked them to win and they didn't win. But we did pick Texas to play South Carolina in the championship and South Carolina to win. So make sure y'all tune in with us tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern time for our live tourney preview for the women's. We appreciate y'all joining us tonight for this selection. So Sunday live stream, man. It's been Chuckin Buckets for our guy missing in action or on the road right now, I should say, KB, who's been in the comments, and Stat Guy. I'm Coach I. We are out of here.
Peace.